Good morning, Pisces. Good morning, DreamWeavers. As I was sitting here meditating this morning, I was called to come talk to you, of course. It's very humbling. I was feeling very humble this morning just because I remember when I started my journey. When I was feeling like I was in my dark night of the soul, everything was falling apart. My health was falling apart. And I was led to tarot, right? I came here to this community where there's so many of you. And I think I've talked about before that I consulted a naturopath to help me on my journey. And during that time, we had the pandemic, or that word that we can't say. We're not supposed to say here for whatever reason. The vid that we encountered. And I think it was right before that time, right around that time, right before that. I was already working from home. I take that back. And I was feeling down and out. And, when I came to this community, it never ceased to amaze me how many of you in this community just, life isn't always great, but you guys keep pushing through. And I think that was a great source of encouragement. So never, I want to tell you today, never underestimate the positivity that you put out in this world. The parts of you that you share. And as I was meditating this morning, I haven't listened to this in a while. I came across Tony Robbins, who was the one that I listened to. I love Tony Robbins. I attended his seminars, Unleash the Power Within, during the pandemic, because it was the first time that it was offered remotely, because remember, we could not gather, we could not go into buildings, and it became affordable to attend this, more affordable anyway, to attend this, because this is something typically when you go that costs like a couple $2,000 to $3,000 to go, and it was being offered remotely for like, I don't know, like $400, which is still a lot of money for a lot of us. But I came across him this morning, and he helped me. This Unleash the Power Within helped me with my mindset shift, right? And when I came across him this morning, I came across lessons that I learned again, that I forgot about, but it's something that once you learn it, it just becomes part of you, right? And you don't even think about it. It just becomes second nature, and it's how your life improves. And so I want to share that with you. And there's 7 things I want to share with you this morning. 7 things that you need to say to yourself every morning when you wake up. And I've seen so many of you in the community do it. So I'm going to get right into it. The first one is, I choose to be happy. Yeah. That one seems kind of hard, right? It doesn't mean that you have the absence of stress or things going on outside of you. But it means that you choose to be happy. And so many of us, right? We come, we log in, we pick up the camera, and you come and you share your gifts with the community. And that's a choice. It's a choice. And you come in, you smile. It's a choice. And not just because you log on and you turn on the camera and you come and you talk to your community doesn't mean that everything is going well, that your life is like 100% where you want it to be, but you choose to be happy. So if there's anyone that's coming across this video and wondering why things are so tough, why you're feeling bad, you're having bad thoughts, the first thing I want you to do this morning is choose to be happy. And once you choose to be happy, know what you sort of become unshakable, right? Because it's a mindset shift that allows you to it's a decision. You decide. It's a choice. And we don't think of being happy as a choice. We think of being happy a lot of times as something that's without of us, that's something that somebody else has to do so that we can feel a certain way. But when we realize that the choice is ours and that we choose to be happy, you become unshakable. No one can walk into your field and change that, because you will automatically repel them. You will automatically repel them. And so number 2 is gratitude. Open your heart and receive love from others. Gratitude. I am grateful. The next thing I want you to say to yourself is, I am grateful for everything I have. This is you switching from lack to abundance. And opening up your heart to receive love from others. This gratitude lets you see, instead of all the things you don't have, it helps you see everything that you have. And it gives you great appreciation for all the things that you have. And when you're appreciative of all the things that you have, you're able to open up your heart and receive, right? It's like it brings in that how do I want to say that? It's like the world starts to reflect back to you what you're seeing. The Lovers. Or, well, the Two of Cups. I always see that as the Lovers. But it's that mirror, right? It's the mirror. So when you have gratitude, you reflect gratitude back to yourself. The world will reflect that back to you. And this is especially very, very important when things are really bad, when you're feeling things are not that great. And the third thing you need to say to yourself, I'm capable of achieving great things. You know, success begins with the mind. We think that success is something that we do or something that comes from without of us, right? No, it begins in your mind. You have to be able to see yourself as being that thing that you want to be. Because again, just as in gratitude, the world will reflect that back to you. And you'll come across things that allow you to achieve great things. It's like the algorithm right here on YouTube. When you start looking for positive things, right, on YouTube, the algorithm sends you more positive things to look at. If you start looking at negative things on YouTube, the algorithm thinks that's what you want to look at, so it sends that to you. So it's the same thing with your mind. When you start believing that you are capable of achieving great things, success begins to unfold. And the thing is that these things that I'm telling you to say are not just things to say. They're things that you eventually have to start to believe. They become second nature. And it's at the beginning, I say it needs to happen first thing in the morning. I've written these things down for myself because I will be saying them to myself again in the morning, because I do say them every day, but probably sporadic throughout the day. But when you get up with these things in the morning, it sets the pace for you to create the day and the world that you want. The Hermit. All life's answers are within you. So it's amazing, isn't it? That as we start to say these things to ourselves, that we start to realize that none of what we want is outside of us. The happiness, the love, it's all inside of us. Our ability to achieve great things. We need to believe in ourselves and it's not that we need other people to believe in us. We need to believe in ourselves. And this is wisdom that comes in solitude. The Hermit. It's wisdom that comes in solitude. Divine inspiration comes with quiet. And when you start believing that you can achieve that, divine wisdom starts to come in. Inspiration, enlightenment, more and more. Daily. And enlightenment is not something that happens just in one day. No, it's something that's through the course of your life. But once you know how to tap into it, you always know. Right? Once you know that you need to sit in quiet and reflect, you know when to pull back and go into hermit mode, right? Tap into that energy, that solitude, when you need to make a decision. Number 4 is I choose to focus on what I can control. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah. You have control on how you respond to things. You know, we always say, oh, that person made me say that, or that person made me. No, nobody makes you do anything. Nobody makes you do anything. It's a choice. Just like you choose to be happy, it's a choice. Right? 5 of Cups. No. Yeah, 5 of Cups in reverse. It's a choice. It's a choice to see. Right? Like look, he's looking at in this card, He's looking at the spilled cups, right? But it's a choice in reverse. It's a choice to turn around and see those 2 cups that are still standing. Gratitude. What can you control? Can you control the cups that have spilled over? Can you control what other people have done? You cannot. It's a choice. And once you make that choice, then it's only then that you can see the cups that are still standing, right? And it's a shift in perspective when you see that you still have, okay, I still have 2 cups standing, so now what? What can I do with that? What can I, that's what you can, this is where your control lies. It doesn't lie with the cups that have spilled. Number 5, I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Yeah, so often, it doesn't matter how much we choose to be happy, how much gratitude we have, how much we think we're capable, how much we choose to focus on what we can control. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have challenges in our life. The challenges will come. But when we choose to look at those challenges as opportunity for growth, that's also another mindset shift that allows us to tackle those obstacles and those challenges in a different way. In a way that fosters growth in ourselves. King of Wands. Growth. It makes you unshakable. When you embrace your you think the King of Wands doesn't have challenges? He's a king. Ruling people, there's all kinds of things going on around him. But the King of Wands is a leader. He's dynamic. He's successful, swift. He's very, very attractive at that. You ever look at someone that's trying to control something that they can't? And how unattractive that is? And that actually exudes from the inside to the outside. You can see it. You can see that they're trying to overpower something that they cannot. The King of Wands knows what cups he has standing, and he's going to focus on that. And he's going to leave the other ones alone and move on. Keep it moving. The door is shut. Very confident. That's how, when you start to embrace challenges as opportunities, that's where your confidence grows. Confident. The King of Wands is not lacking in confidence. Not at all. And number 6, I'm committed to continuous improvement. This means I thought about this one this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, here I am back to step 1 where I started back in 2020 when I first attended Unleash the Power Within. Back to back to reviewing those same principles that got me to where I am now. So, and it's really interesting because sometimes we think, oh, we read something. I read a book already. I saw that already. I did that thing already. But when you go back and you revisit it, you never know what you're going to get out of it. The different perspective that you will have on how, even how it can help someone else. Like, and continuous improvement helps you always be the best version of yourself. It's not like I went to school, I went to nursing school, right? Like, so it's not like I went to nursing school and then I stopped learning, because technology is always improving, things are changing, and it's like you don't ever stop learning. There's always room for growth, always room to learn new things. And what this does also is Five of Wands. The interesting thing about the Five of Wands, right? When you look at the Five of Wands, you look at it as conflict. But you know what the Five of Wands teaches us is to accept life as it comes, both positive and negative. And the thing that continuous learning does for us is it allows us to resolve our inner conflicts, because as you learn more, right? Because conflict is not always outside of us. Conflict is something that sometimes we have within us. And sometimes it's about learning a little bit more so we can make a decision about what we truly value. A lot of us start our dark night of the soul, or our journey here on tarot, right? In tarot, listening to tarot, not even understanding what we truly believe, because that's our dark night of the soul, because we're soul searching to see what we truly believe, what is truly ours. And the only way to get to the nitty gritty and the bottom of it is through the Hermit and through continuous learning, gaining confidence, acceptance. Five of Cups in reverse, and the Two of Cups at the beginning, balancing ourselves out. And finding true love within ourselves. And yes, you can find it without of you, but if you don't have it within you, you cannot find it without of you. And last but not least, I choose to make a positive impact. This one here is about purpose. Our presence in this world, everyone's presence in this world is supposed to make the world a better place. It's about higher purpose, right? And without higher purpose, what are we doing everything that we're doing for? What are we doing all the things that, why are we doing all the things that we're doing? After you have enough, whether it's money, knowledge, what do you do with it? What do you do with all that knowledge after you've gone and you've learned and you continuous improvement? For what? Just for yourself? And it's good you use it for yourself, of course. But purpose also allows us to use that knowledge, that being in purpose allows us to use that knowledge to help others. And I don't think there's a greater feeling than that, than knowing that you knew something, that you could show someone something, lead them a certain way that helps to improve their life. Especially when you're feeling like your life is you're in a good place already, you know? And with that, we had the Four of Wands fell out in reverse. You know, Four of Wands in the upright is about celebration, stability, home, rest, right? And then the Four of Wands fell out in reverse. And to me, that says that without purpose, there is no celebration. That's what I get from that card falling out. There's no celebration without purpose. I mean, you can celebrate with yourself, but for how long? How long? You know, and isn't it more fulfilling when you're celebrating with others? When you can celebrate the success of others? And these 7 things. I choose to be happy. I am grateful for everything I have. I am capable of achieving great things. I choose to focus on what I can. I embrace challenges as opportunity for growth. I am committed to continuous improvement, and I choose to make a positive impact. 8 of Swords in reverse. This is so perfect to end this reading because, listen, this is about choice, right? I said this is all about, these are things that you have to choose. You have to believe. And when you believe, the universe aligns and brings everything in for you. This is about you having a new perspective and believing that this new perspective that you have is true. Because once you believe it, the universe will bring it in for you. Ace of Pentacles. The universe will bring it in for you. Yeah, I don't know. Let me just pull it. This was like a coming back to home for me this morning. So I wanted to share this with you because it's never, we never know enough, or how do I want to say this? Just because you learn something doesn't mean you can't go back to that lesson. And I know we talk about, oh, we've learned that lessons, we need to move on, but I'm talking about higher learning. That it's go back and review. Don't forget. This is about, maybe that's what it's about also, is not so that you don't the lessons that life has taught you, right? It's about not forgetting those lessons that you've learned. Like, you don't have to go back and repeat it, right? Repeat all the trauma. No, but that's why you don't forget the lessons, so that you don't have to repeat the trauma. Whoa. What can I do to make a difference? That was the last thing, right? Make a positive impact. And I think, when you start, when you start your day with these 7 things that you say to yourself, all these are choices that you're making. Like, I'm getting up today. I choose to be happy. I choose to be grateful. I am grateful. I'm capable. I choose to focus. Like, you're choosing. You get up first thing in the morning and you're choosing this, and then you step into your purpose. And stepping into your purpose could be as simple as saying a kind word to someone. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be something super fancy. Because giving a kind word to someone could be really super fancy for them, because it might be something they've never heard before. They don't have anybody in their life to give them that kind word. So this card says, what keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it? Such that every ounce of you screams, no more. Where can you create purpose out of your pain? Exactly. Choosing to see the 2 cups that are not spilled. Today's soul's action. Make a difference in someone's life. That's so perfect as we end this reading. Make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference. Even when you don't think it makes a difference, it makes a difference. You never know who you're gonna touch, who needed to feel your touch, who needed to hear your words, who needed that text that you were gonna send, or that, you know, maybe a video that you were gonna share like this one. Maybe you'll share this with someone who you think needs to hear it, right? You never know what someone needs. But when you're in purpose, when you are in purpose and you're making a difference, there's always someone out there who can use that purpose that you're spilling over. All right, Pisces, thank you, Dreamweavers. Subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time I upload a new video. I am still I'm still giving out the Empress Rising journals. So with a quick reading, like 1 question reading. So if you are interested, the email is in the description box. Send me your information, and that is through the end of April. And I thank you. This was a bonus reading today. I hadn't planned on it, but I thought, you know, as we're going through Passover. Some of us are going to celebrate Easter, I think this is Passover, you know, Easter, this new year. We're stepping into this new energy in our life. I think having things, you know, having like these 7 things that we can say to ourselves every morning and ground those in as part of our rituals can really be effective. I know it's been for me over these last 6 years. So I hope it is for you also. All right. I am sending you love, Pisces. See you in the next one.